Hello and welcome to Earth Ray Healing. Today we're talking about High Priestess energy. And it doesn't matter what your gender is, although it does matter that you recognize the feminine within yourself. So what we're getting into today is these High Priestess energies. We're talking about intuition, trusting your inner knowing, accessing that inner knowing, being silent. The High Priestess is silent, being in observer mode, okay? And we are, like, the High Priestess energy is earthly guardian energy of goddess energy. So High Priestess embodies goddess energy here on the earth. And I feel like the goddesses that are sort of governing these sessions today, I feel like it's Isis and Magdalene. Those are the two that are like combined together here that are bringing through the High Priestess energies. So we're very much in divine feminine today. We're essentially connecting the heart and the third eye with these sessions when activating the High Priestess here today. So what we're going to get into is how do you relate to High Priestess energy? And then we're going to get into how can you activate your High Priestess energy. Okay, so make your choice here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will see you at your choice or your choices. Hello there, welcome. So this is your session here. If you chose this card here, this says High Priestess, discernment, prescience, prophecy, vision. The very first thing I'm getting here is familiar, like a familiar energy, the animals, pets. We'll see where that turns up, but I am getting like a familiar type of energy. Having a pet that is very important for your activations. So if you skip the beginning there, we're talking about what is your connection with this energy? We're going to get into that here first. What is your connection with the High Priestess energies? We have balance. What else? What is your connection? And then we have blame. Let's tune into that. I feel like your energy with the High Priestess, or your relating to High Priestess energy, was not a good one. You might be attracted to it now, like in a good way. You want to activate it. But your like connection with it, at least in one lifetime, was not good. There was not, I'm seeing the word discernment on here. There was not discernment. There was not discernment. It's like you trusted somebody and things didn't go well, and then there was blame. So it's like we need to balance out, balance out because here's the thing. The High Priestess has a dark side, just like anything else. And this was like either holding back on power or using your power in a destructive way. But I don't feel like it was you. I feel like it was someone else using their power in a destructive way. And it's like on a subconscious level, you blame them. You blame them. Whoever them is. That needs to be released. That needs to be released. We're going to get into these other cards here. We're going to ask Spirit, how can you activate I feel like we need to get into it more. I feel like when all the cards are laid out, we'll get more information here, okay? So how can you activate your High Priestess? How can you activate your High Priestess within? I'm hearing acknowledgement. Okay, we have protection. How can you activate High Priestess within? We have communication. We have why did I say activate? That's weird. How activation communication is what I'm hearing. Activation communication. So activating your High Priestess has to do with protecting your energy, specifically your energy. I'm hearing your space also, protecting your space. So do you have like an altar? If you don't, you need one. And if you do, it's not being protected. We need to cover things up, like maybe your oracle cards, or maybe like your crystals or talismans, or they need to be covered like with a sacred cloth of some sort. This helps in your activation. And so communication is communicating with, this might sound strange, but communicating with the High Priestess within in order to bring her out, activate her. I am getting like actual, like seeing the future here, seeing the future energy. I feel like that has to do with this also, like your connection with this energy. You were a seer. You were a seer, but the seer, and then there's a High Priestess energy within this life also. And I feel like the High Priestess was not you, but this High Priestess, dark High Priestess energy, it had a darkness to it. And there was some conflicts like between you, the seer, and the priestess energies. It's like you're ready to move up into, like, from seer to High Priestess, but are you still afraid of that lifetime? I've gotten this in sessions before where people are afraid of their power because they misused it in a different life. And also with this blame, it says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. And I'm hearing, I accept my responsibility. So if you were the one that misused power, you have to accept that and then move on. Like it was one of those lifetimes, you know? It was one of those lifetimes where you were not nice. You wouldn't be where you are right now, ready to take on this High Priestess energy, if you hadn't gone through those sort of like negative lifetimes. The balance card here says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Yeah, without judgment, without judging myself, without judging myself. Also, I'm getting like without judging others, or without like comparing myself to others, that type of thing. So again, how do you relate? What's your connection? It's with a sort of a bad lifetime, a negative lifetime. You didn't have a good connection with positive High Priestess energy. Whether you were the High Priestess or whether that energy, that being was around you and maybe did you wrong. But you had, okay. So I'm getting, like I said before, you were a seer. It's almost like you had the gifts, and whoever this High Priestess was did not, possibly. They wanted them so badly. They blamed you for their fall, I'm hearing. This is really interesting energy. It's like the further along we're going, the further I'm getting deeper into it. But we don't need to linger in why you have the connection. It's just sort of a helps you to understand where this comes from with you. You had the gift of prophecy. You had the gift of sight, I'm hearing. So maybe you have that now, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be like visual. You can have, no sight, the aphantasia. You can have that and still be high priestess. Still be in your high priestess energy. Still activate your high priestess energy. I am getting again to communicate. Communicate with your guides. You have a high priestess guide with you. This is a guide. This might come up in all the piles, but this is a guide that is not going to be with you like throughout your life. This is for this activation and to help you integrate the energies and then keep moving, like moving on. Maybe moving on to embody goddess energy. It's like you cannot activate goddess energy without activating high priestess energy. I don't always get that message, but I'm getting that right now. I'm getting the protection again. Protecting your energy more. Protecting your third eye. Protecting your third eye. Whatever that means for you. It's different things to different people. And I feel like quiet about it. Like I don't even feel like, it's like they're not giving me examples on purpose because it's very personal. They're bringing me to, do you see in her third eye here? That like moon on her third eye. See how it's very different? Like it's something very different. I feel like that for you, like it's like, again, I don't want to give an example, but they're showing me this. I'm just seeing like a sticker of a moon and you put it on your forehead. Like protection, protect your third eye. Protect your space. Again, I'm getting sacred space, sacred altar. There's something else with protect. They're showing me like sage and like smoke to clear and protect. But if smoke is not your thing, you can use spray, like a sage spray. They are bringing me to the stronger things like sage. So like when I'm using like Palo Santo, it's not the same energy as sage. Sage is a little more stronger, a little more potent, and they're bringing me to the potent things for you. Okay, so we're just going to, let's see here. I'm going to use a couple more decks here, and we're just going to get any further information. These two decks are kind of, they have feminine energies within them. So we're tuning into divine feminine, right? So any further information on this high priestess energy for card choice number 1 here. High priestess energies, activating high priestess energies. So we have jewel within a teardrop. Yeah, it's that you were hurt or something. You were hurt in this other lifetime. Yeah, it just feels like they're not having me go too far into it because it's time to integrate it and let it go. It's just like a little tidbit of where this connection came from. Need to balance, need to balance that lifetime and this lifetime. I'm hearing this jewel within a teardrop. It's something good within something bad, kind of, is how I'm hearing that or seeing that. Something really beautiful within like something terrible that happened. I am seeing discernment again and protection. So be discerning with like who you're choosing to listen to right now while you're like activating your high priestess, who you're choosing to listen to spiritually. So who are you tuning into? Make sure you're in your heart before you tune into like the ethers because anything will come to you. You want to tune into your heart. Be discerning also with who you're choosing to listen to, like here on YouTube. Who are you tuning into? I'm hearing. Whoever you're tuning into should be helping you to reconnect with this high priestess energy, this spiritual and emotional reconnection. Yes, I'm hearing it again. Something really beautiful within something maybe harsh that happened. And that harshness was this other lifetime. The beautiful thing is the activation in this lifetime. It is really beautiful too. I'm being drawn to communication again. Communicating with the high priestess within you through your heart. Communicating with your guides, This deck is a little more like, it's like maybe darker feminine, but it's powerful. So that's why I chose this little deck here. What else on any of this? Any further information? We have mischief. I just said the dark, you know. Don't be so serious, I'm hearing. This says keep your eyelids open and sight sharp as nails, for there is something trailing behind your tail. Mischief, something following you. I'm hearing something following you. Stay alert. Again, the protection. Stay alert. I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah, mischief. We're going back to mischief with the protection. So I'm seeing like an altar of some sort. Okay. And I'm seeing stuff, things, energies around it because the altar area is not protected. Or the room or the chair or the desk or wherever you do your thing. It's not protected. And I'm hearing nature. Bring nature inside. Stones, sticks, fallen leaves, dirt. Bring them inside. If you don't like go outside, go outside. Outside is protection also to connect with this energy. They are bringing me one last time back to the familiar. Back to the familiar. I think it was in that lifetime you had a familiar. You could have one now too. And maybe that's what you need to do. Like this next pet that you get or this next animal that you connect with it has something to do with your connection with the high priestess energies. Okay. That is all that I'm getting here for you with connecting with these high priestess energies. I do hope that this was helpful for you. If you want a personal session, that link will be below. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in another pile or next time. Hello there, welcome. So this is your session for tuning into your high priestess energy. If you chose this second card here, it's the high priestess card from a tarot deck, the Cat People Tarot, I believe. Cards are always in the description, so if you're interested, that's where that'll be. I am getting, in the first choice, I got familiar energy, like having a familiar, an animal, a pet. And I'm getting that also here. Yeah, but it's a little different. So I'm getting like a cat as a guide. Yeah, it's like it feels like it's from this lifetime. So a cat that has passed away that is a guide, or a cat that chose to stay in spirit and is a guide, specifically a guide. And this feels like a lifelong guide, this cat. And then they're showing me other animals too. So it doesn't have to be a cat. They drew me in with cat energy, and then I'm seeing a wolf, I'm seeing a frog actually. I'm seeing a giraffe. A giraffe is taking me to, and this is interesting because these sessions in High Priestess energy is typically earth energy. With the giraffe, they just took me to, I forget how to say it. It's a star system. Camelopardian, something like that. I'll spell it out here on the screen here. But it's a star system with camel beings, and like llama-looking beings, alpaca beings. That's interesting. So maybe you relate to camels, alpacas, giraffes. I am seeing like spotted animals also. Spotted animals, they're saying. Yeah, we're going a little further with the familiar energy. So you could be an animal person. You can work with animals. You could speak to animals. You could be telepathic with animals. And that, tapping into that, helps you to activate your High Priestess energy. So yeah, if you skip the beginning, we're talking about how do you relate to High Priestess energy? Like, what is your connection? And then we're going to talk about how you can activate your High Priestess energy. So first we're going to use this deck here for how do you relate to the Priestess energy? Like, what is your connection with High Priestess energy? You might already know, but we're going to get further into it. Okay, what is your connection? Pile 2, or choice number 2. What is your connection with High Priestess energy? We have change. Change. What is your connection with High Priestess energy? Okay. Change. What is your... Huh. I didn't want 2 more, but they want 2 more. Okay, so grief. Look at the orange. Look at the orange. You relate to High Priestess energy through your womb, I'm hearing. Through your womb. They wanted another one because, oh, look at this, grief and fear. Yeah. Wow. Okay, similar to choice number 1. This probably has to do with a not so great lifetime. That's how you relate to High Priestess energy. Okay, so change says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Grief says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Fear says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. I did just get, and I'm going to put a trigger warning here with this card that, I mean, this could be in this life, but I'm getting it from a past life that a child was lost. You lost a child. And in this lifetime, there was High Priestess energy. You were related to High Priestess energy. I don't know what is there a sister of the High Priestess? I feel like there's a sister of the High Priestess, and that's who you were. This was a heavy lifetime, and it is affecting your sacral and your power, your solar plexus and your sacral. Wow. This is heavy, heavy energy. So we're asking, what is your connection to the High Priestess energy? Your connection is like grief. It's loss of power. So again, just like I said in the first pile, just like I've said in many sessions recently, you could fear tapping into your power now because either it was used bad towards you, the High Priestess energy, or you misused your power. So now I am tapping into you as the High Priestess in this lifetime, in this past lifetime, not the sister. Maybe your sister now is also your High Priestesses. Like, I don't know, that's a separate one. But I'm tuning into you as High Priestess right now in that lifetime, a dark priestess. And so, she has a dark side just like everybody else. When she's in the dark, she's you shouldn't trust her. She's not even powerful really. She has the image of being powerful, but she's not. And I'm getting that now because of that, if that was you, if you relate to being that sort of High Priestess in a different life, you could be like ignoring your intuition right now. You could be repressing memories of this life or others. You could have a fear, like I said, of your power. You could have a fear of shining, a fear of putting yourself out there, a fear of exposure. Yeah, I'm getting a lot with this. So we're gonna move into how to deal with this, like how you can activate your High Priestess energy. I am getting like the same as I did in the first choice, which was they had the balance card here, and I am getting like the balance card over here for you, like something that you should do to activate. So balance your emotions. Your emotions are stuck they get stuck in the sacral. Let's get these cards first. So how can you activate your High Priestess energies? Rebirth. Birth. I'm hearing womb again. We have to go to the womb energy. You have to go to your womb energy. Do you fear being feminine? Do you fear being powerful in your feminine? That's what I'm getting. Okay, what else for how you can activate your High Priestess energy within? Spirit guides. Yep, similar to the first one again. These sessions might all go together, so you might want to take a look at other ones too. It's communicate with your guides. Just like the first one, you have a guide that is the High Priestess version of you that might not always be around. This is like for this time period, for you activating, for you releasing grief and fear through the sacral. I'm hearing through the solar plexus. That's not usually where you release grief and fear, but I'm hearing somebody's going to resonate with that, releasing grief and fear through the solar plexus. I'm hearing to tune into this. If any of the animals mentioned earlier, if you resonate with any of them, tune into that animal, or like if it's an actual familiar of yours, an actual pet of yours, communicate with them, tune into them. If it's a like animal medicine, tune into the animal medicine of like whatever I said, frog, camel, in order to activate this high priestess energy. I'm looking at the rebirth here. Rebirth. I'm getting like phoenix energy. So it's like I'm rising above what happened in this life. I'm rising above what my original connection was with high priestess energy. I'm processing it. I'm throwing away what I don't need, and I'm rising above, and I'm activating my power. I'm activating my sacred wisdom. I'm activating my inner knowing. I'm activating being an observer. Observer. I feel like this dark, whoever this was, this darker, you know, I was talking about the darker side, the darker side of that high priestess energy in that lifetime. I feel like whoever that was, if that was you or someone you related to in that lifetime, they talked a lot. That's not how high priestess is. She's mute. It's like they're showing me you going into like silence for a period of time in order to activate high priestess energy. They're saying only speak to us. Only speak to us. I mean, maybe it's only like an hour, and you can expand and contract time as you need it to. So maybe it'd be actually like a week. An hour would equal a week for you of being silent. Just a side note, call in the time guardian dragons to help you expand and contract time for you. Yeah, I'm getting like go silent for however long, whatever. Time doesn't exist. So it's like I said, if you only have an hour, tell your guides we're making this hour actually a week long. If you have a week, that's fine. Make the week a month long. So go silent. You can activate her energy, this energy, by going silent, observing, being a better observer, being a better listener, I'm hearing. Okay, we have a couple more cards here. Got this deck here. These are like, both of these little decks are feminine energies. So we're adding them in since this is essentially a divine feminine activation. Anything else on this for card choice number 2? Okay, so we have to so we have Temptress, the Temptress here. And it says seduction, deceit, a broken promise. Okay, so we're going back to that sacral energy again, the womb energy. Deceit. This could be, now I'm feeling a partner, a man, like you were a woman, there was a man that sort of messed with your energies. A broken promise. Again, it needs to be processed. It needs to be processed. It's stuck in the sacral, I'm hearing, and in the solar plexus. It's like sacral and solar plexus and that area in between the two. So you might have like digestive issues or like fat issues right in that area, right between where the solar plexus is above the belly button and then the sacral is below the belly button. Okay, one last card. Anything else on choice number 2 and their high priestess energies? So we got graveyard. And it says, there is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end, knowing no end, in acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. That feels like a riddle to me, like confusing energy, so I'm just going to ignore that. But I see graveyard, and what I'm tuning into is the fact that that lifetime is done. We have to recognize that that is done. On some level, recognize that that is done, and we're moving into fresh new energy, fresh new earth. It's time to integrate the power. You can't go through all of this fear and grief and lower energy without coming out with something learned. That whatever you learned, that is power. I'm getting the phoenix energy again. Rising above. Okay. That is all that I'm getting here with this. I do hope that was helpful for you. If you want a personal session, that link will be below. I want to thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in another choice or next time. Hello there and welcome. This is your session if you chose this card here, this High Priestess card. This is from the Isis Oracle deck. It says Mysteries Revealed in the Eyes of Isis. If you skip the beginning, I mentioned that the governing goddess energies that are with these sessions is Isis and Magdalene. And so this one, obviously, it oozes Isis energy. And I am getting like Egyptian energy with this one. So this could very well be an Egyptian high priestess life. I'm also getting like Sumerian, like Babylonian. Yeah, it could relate to those lifetimes. I'm getting, I'm getting very specific Egyptian energy, but we'll see what comes out. So we're going to talk about how do you relate to this energy? How do you relate to this energy? Like, what is your connection with this high priestess energy? And then we're going to talk about how can you activate the high priestess within? So how do you relate to this energy? It might be the Egyptian, but let's see here. How do you relate? We have imagination. Imagination. Okay. And it says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Okay. How do you relate to the high priestess energy? Give me further information on that. Purpose. I know what I'm here to do. It's crown energy. Look at that crown energy. This is crown and throat. Crown and throat energy. Expression. Something about expression in this lifetime. The expression in this lifetime. Similar to one of the other piles. I think all these piles go together, but similar to one of the other piles. We're talking about, they're bringing up how high priestess energy is mute. And there was something about this lifetime that you're relating to, whether it was you or someone else, that was not mute. They talked. High priestess energy is silent. It's going within. I'm trying to tune in here further. What is your connection? Your connection with this energy, your connection with high priestess energy. I do feel like possibly the high priestess was not you, or for some of you, it wasn't you. It's like you, You saw this energy from afar. Maybe you were envious of it. That's not clear. I'm not clear. It's not clear. There's smoke around that. So I'm not clear on what that energy was. But what I am being drawn to here is the fact that this lifetime, something is becoming clear. Something about the High Priestess energy, something about like why you're here at this session becomes very clear to you. I feel like it's soon too. I mean, it could be like within this session, but it could be like just over a month or a year's time of connecting with this energy. Observing. High Priestess observes. High Priestess holds sacred wisdom. Sacred wisdom and your purpose have something to do with each other. I'm seeing the emerald tablets. The tablets, sacred knowledge revealed. Have you been like studying that kind of thing? When you're doing that, know that when you're doing that, you are activating High Priestess energy. I'm also hearing for you to work with Thoth. Now, Thoth is not just Egyptian. And Thoth is actually not always silent, but Thoth, they're showing me how Thoth is like a god of sorts of writing. So it's like I'm seeing you writing either in this lifetime, this past lifetime, or this present lifetime. Sorry, I'm mixing the two. They're showing me different times here, and so I just need to separate them. Okay, so the past lifetime, that your reason for connecting with High Priestess energy, you could have been some sort of artist. You could have like painted the royals and the seers or something. They're showing me like some sort of art. But this could also be an art for now also. Like you develop some sort of oracle deck for High Priestess energy. Or you develop a tarot deck of your own. It says, I know what I'm here to do. They're bringing me to that. They're talking about purpose. I don't know my purpose. But I'm hearing that like it's like they're twisting lifetimes. So it's really like forgive my words, but it's like you're twisted in this lifetime because of a different lifetime. You need to untwist them, untie them, and then just integrate that one into being part of who you are, making you whole, and not being twisted, not allowing a different lifetime to take over. Something will be made very clear, I'm hearing. Something will be made very clear. And it's like when you're in your High Priestess energy. So something, when I'm saying something, it's like something that you want to know about. I don't know what it is, and they're not giving me any examples. So it's like something that you've been wanting to know. Maybe it's your purpose. I don't really relate to like purpose. Like it's more of, what to do in the moment. Maybe that's a message for you. But something's going to become very clear for you within this High Priestess energy. And again, High Priestess energy is your intuition. It's trusting your inner knowing, accessing, being able to get to that inner knowing. It's silence, it's observing. Within that energy, something becomes clear to you. You have a relation to High Priestess energy based on like imagination, based on, it's like I'm seeing painting again, like based on something creative, but also with imagination. That's also third eye energy. So it's like in a different life, again, they're bringing up, it could be Egyptian, it could be an Egyptian life. You were not this, but you wanted to be eventually, or you, I don't know, you worked closely with this being. This being does not have bad energy either. Like it doesn't feel bad. Okay, we're gonna move on here. I feel like I'm like at a stop with that message for some reason. So we're gonna ask Spirit here, how can you activate your High Priestess energy? How can you activate your High Priestess energy? Cleanse. Cleansing the old lifetimes away, I'm hearing. Cleansing. How can you activate your High Priestess energy? Deep healing. Yeah, cleansing and healing. Cleansing and healing. Cleansing and healing. I am here. Okay, so I'm like, again, I'm getting like different lifetimes overlapping, and it's like, step back, be in the present moment. Be in the present moment. Being in the present moment helps you to heal deeply. It's like when you're connecting with all different lifetimes and all different timelines and all different versions of yourself, but you're not stopping and integrating them and then moving on, your energy gets all confusing and you need to cleanse constantly. So I am seeing a High Priestess lifetime with you now. It's now the fog's like lifting. So it's like there was a lifetime where you weren't the High Priestess, but you were around it. And then there was a lifetime where you were. And they're not giving me any information on it because it doesn't relate to what we're trying to get across here. You relate to the High Priestess energy because you were one and you were around. You were around high priest also. I'm hearing high priest. I'm hearing kings and queens. I'm hearing Merlin. I'm hearing Merlin. And they're not getting into like traumas or things that happened in these lifetimes, because we're talking a bunch of lifetimes, because again, I'm seeing them all like they're tied together, and our lifetimes are tied together, but it's almost like you're confusing yourself right now by like bringing it down to like a practical level. Maybe you're watching so many videos, or you're reading so many books, or you're buying so many crystals, but you're not taking time to integrate. You're just like, oh yeah, I was Isis. Oh yeah, I was Merlin. Oh yeah, I am an amethyst crystal. Oh yeah, I remember my Lemurian lifetime. Like, yes, 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 and yes, but we have to like integrate it. Take time to integrate it before you move on. Things get confusing, things get foggy, things get muddy. And then it requires a constant cleansing. It's like I'm hearing you're never going to understand your purpose or your, like, why you wanted to be here unless you stop, integrate, be quiet. I'm hearing it's taking on the High Priestess energies of being quiet, being silent, being observant. Cleansing your, I'm hearing like cleansing your vision. So cleansing your third eye. It's like you can easily do this when you get into High Priestess energies of being quiet. This is a deep healing lifetime for you. I'm seeing the ocean within this. I'm seeing the ocean. I'm seeing like High Priestess energy at an ocean. And I'm getting like Avalon type of energy now. Like I said, Merlin. There's throat, like I said earlier, there's throat energy here. Expression. Expression. I'm hearing silent expression, and I'm seeing art. Again, I'm seeing art. It doesn't have to be art, but that's how I'm seeing it. Silent expression. So expression without your voice. It is possible. I'm hearing it is possible. So we're just going to use another couple of decks here. These are a couple of decks that are feminine in nature. So we brought them in because this is ultimately divine feminine energy we're activating, right? So we're just asking anything else for this session. Anything else? Rising above. Rising above. See? Mysteries revealed. Yeah. Clarity, freedom, solution. There's the blue again of like expression. Yeah, I'm getting clarity again. Like something's being revealed. Something is becoming clear. The fog is like lifting. Like it was like the fog was in the beginning of this session and then it cleared for me, like as I was doing it, as I was tuning in. So we're going to use another deck here, just asking Spirit anything else on activating High Priestess energies, connecting with High Priestess energies. Owl. Owl spirit. Yeah. It says, behold sight. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says, behold sight, O ancient ones, for there is magic in the darkest of places if one dares to open their eyes. And I'm hearing open your eye. And I'm hearing connecting your eyes, your physical eyes, and your third eye. Connecting them. High Priestess, her eyes are closed most of the time. But I am getting to connect the open eyes and the closed eye, connecting them. And essentially, if you skip the beginning, we are connecting like the heart and the third eye here. The heart and the third eye. And it seems like your message also is to connect your eyes with your third eye. Okay. So that's all I'm getting here. I do hope that that was helpful for you. If you want a personal session, that link will be below. So I will see you. Hello there, welcome. So this is your session if you chose this High Priestess card from the Lightseers Tarot. I'm just seeing if I get anything right off the bat here. I am seeing like how much work you've done. I didn't actually see that in any of the other piles, but I am seeing how much work you've done. And Spirit is recognizing. We see what you've done. We see that you've gone within. We see how much you've integrated. I am getting star energy here also. Typically, High Priestess energy is earthly energy. Because as I mentioned in the very beginning, High Priestess energy is like earthly guardian energy of goddess energy. So she embodies the goddess energy here on the earth. But it's kind of like you're connected with, I'm hearing Syrian energy. Syrian energies, yeah. I'm getting Pleiadian also. I got star energy in, I believe it was card choice number 2. It was a different star system. Yeah, I'm getting I'm getting tuning into the stars. I'm getting tuning into astrology. I'm getting like, what I was mentioning in the other piles was going silent. And I'm seeing that you go silent easily. You can get into that easily. Remember to get into your heart, though, also. Try not to just go silent and tune into your third eye. That's my opinion. Of course, you do whatever feels right to you. But the message here, I'm being guided to tell you to don't forget to get into your heart. Because like I mentioned again at the beginning, essentially this session is we're connecting the third eye with the heart. So I'm seeing like they're recognizing how much work you've done and how like open, I guess, how powerful your third eye is. But they are like doing like a little bit of a caution on like who you're connecting with. Yeah, okay. We'll see here. We'll see. So first we're gonna ask, how do you relate to this energy? Like why are you attracted to High Priestess energies? Like what is your connection with this energy? Thank you. We have forgiveness. Forgiveness. I feel like we need more. How does card choice number 4 relate to High Priestess energies? Thank you. We have fear. Fear was in one of the other. Yeah, it's like we're dealing with like past lives where power was misused. It's time. Yeah, it's like it's time to forgive yourself. I feel like you were the High Priestess. You were the High Priestess in another life. You've done so much work. You have like done this, got a lot of forgiveness work. You have like released trauma. There's still a little bit of fear though. What is that fear? Fear of your power. Fear of, I'm hearing like being shown, like being illuminated. Because they're showing me like a star lighting up, like illuminating. And it's like I'm shying away from that. It feels like the High Priestess energy is like fun to you though, also. Like, it doesn't sound like those go together, but it's because you've done so much work. I feel like you went through some sort of forgiveness process. And it doesn't feel like it's related to High Priestess, but it's been like a forgiveness process, like towards someone in this lifetime. I forgive you for doing this to me. I forgive myself for making myself feel like this, or something like that. Or you've done some sort of forgiveness ritual or something to forgive something in other lifetimes. This says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Yeah, it's like, I feel like you've done work on your sacral. That's interesting because one of the other choices was you have to do work on your sacral. So it's like if you watched both of them, maybe you did, like you needed that information in order to, and then you came to this one and then it sort of released. Energy, I never question it. I mean, it, strange things happen in a beautiful way. So we can release things during these sessions, it can happen that quickly. Quickly. Yeah. They're talking about quickly and how you did something quickly. Like, did you just awaken like a year ago or something? And now you're like on the fast track to spirituality or something like that. But again, there's some kind of fear here. There is some kind of fear here. This says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. I'm hearing like you've dispersed energy. You've dispersed unwanted energies, but there's still some in there. you know what it is. I feel like you know what the fear is. Or at least you know that you still have fear. There's fear of being seen here. Fear of being seen. I'm seeing them, so they're talking about you in this state, like I can see you sitting there with your eyes closed, but then you come out of yourself sort of, and you see yourself sitting there with your eyes closed. And they're asking you to observe. Okay, so observe yourself in High Priestess mode. Like, it's like the High Priestess you is observing you now in High Priestess mode of being silent, going within. I'm hearing gathering your sacred wisdom, trusting your inner knowing. There's a spiritual awakening happening here, a spiritual, like, awakening of your wisdom, awakening of your wisdom. Don't fear what you know. That's coming through really strong. Don't fear what you know. You don't have to agree with anyone else. You do not have to agree with anyone else. You have all the power within, I'm hearing. You're not going to agree with everyone else. And I'm also hearing that not everyone's going to agree with you. But again, don't fear what you know. And don't back down from what you know, I'm hearing. You're a very wise one. You're a very wise one. I see you here as, like, I know this is like a certain kind of person, you know, like a white female with red hair, but that doesn't matter. I can see you as a young female, and then I see you as like a sage, an old female. It's female, it's feminine, it's in, if you're a male right now listening, obviously it's a different lifetime. So I can see the divine wisdom is what I'm saying. I can see the progression. Trust your inner knowing, I'm hearing. Trust your inner knowing. Okay, we're going to use this deck for, we're asking how you can activate. So we were just talking about that. Trusting your inner, everything we were just talking about helps you to activate. We're going to get further information. So how can you activate your High Priestess energy? How can you activate your High Priestess energy? Oh, interesting. Boundaries. So I'm seeing right away, I'm seeing someone like declaring, this is my meditation time, don't bother me. Or this is my time to do this, don't bother me. Because I'm seeing someone in like a busy household, or someone that has older kids that are still in the house. Like, they're just showing me different things, and it's like I'm claiming my time. I'm claiming my time. So it's like you have to carve out your own time to do this. If you really want to activate the High Priestess within, and then I'm hearing in order to activate the Goddess within, you have to carve out time. This is up to you. Like, it's you run the show with this, I'm hearing. Inspiration. Inspiration. What inspires you? Wow. I see you in your power here. Like, this High Priestess energy serves you. It's very much you. Like, the whole reason that you're attracted to it, and it's because you are it. You already know that. I feel like you already know that. Inspiration. What do you do? What do you do without speaking that inspires you? I can see somebody sitting on a park bench and watching people, like people watching, but with no judgment, and just taking things in, just taking it all in like true high priestess manner, you know? You do have an issue though. I'm seeing somebody force something upon somebody also. That's not good. What is that? I'm not sure what that is. Like, so say you have activated your high priestess and you're still like integrating it. Maybe you're psychic and you're giving information to people. Not everybody wants to hear your information. Boundaries. So boundaries both ways. Have boundaries both ways, you know? Letting people in and how much you're sharing. I'm hearing it as I did in the other piles, like go silent. Go silent. Being taken to the inspiration card, I'm being shown this yellow, and it's kind of strange. It's like this is, I know it's usually solar plexus energy, but it's like it's solar plexus power, but it's crown. I'm seeing crown energy. So it's like solar plexus, the crown of connecting with the divine through my power, and it works through my third eye. But again, they're talking about don't forget to get into your heart, because, and then they're bringing up the star energy again. Anything can get in. Anything can get in. They're bringing up the fae, the fairy, with this crown and solar plexus energy also. And two different things. They're talking about, again, being in your heart, being discerning with who you're choosing to let in, especially from the fae world, because there's a lot of tricksters. But if that's your thing, if you connect with the elementals, connect with the elementals to work with high priestess energy. And I'm hearing outside, specifically outside. And it's like I'm in a forest. I'm not in a city. I'm not in a city. I'm in a wooded area, and I'm connected with, I'm hearing certain elementals. So you have to look that up. You have to do your research. Certain elementals I'm connecting with in order to connect with my high priestess within. And they love that. It's like they're showing me, Spirit's showing me how those elementals that you connect with, they love it when you connect with them. And when you connect with them, you're activating yourself. You're actually activating your elemental self also, I'm hearing. Okay, so we're just going to use a couple other decks here to get any further final information. These are two feminine decks. One's like lighter and one's like a darker feminine. We're just going to, since we're working with divine feminine here, right? So any further information here? Okay. So we have amethyst. Ooh. Wow. Okay. So it's like I'm actually seeing the the stone amethyst here. Transformation, certainty, confidence. Yeah, that's another thing. Like you get more confident. Have boundaries. Having boundaries will help you with your confidence, I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm hearing that with all these. And then again, I'm seeing the actual stone of amethyst. So maybe connecting with amethyst, maybe you have like a special amethyst pendant or something. Or maybe putting amethyst on your third eye. That just gave me chills. Putting amethyst on your third eye. Anything else for connecting with high priestess energies here? So we have rebirth. We had rebirth in a different card, in a different pile here. So this says there's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. Okay. I don't always get with this card deck like what it says, but I am getting the rebirth. The rebirth is like what you've done. I feel like you've done this. Remember I said you did the work? There was a rising that happened, like a rebirth. We're still in that rebirth is what I'm hearing. You're still in that rebirth because there's a little bit of fear to be released. A little bit of fear to be released. What inspires you? What inspires you while you're silent, I'm hearing? Is it writing? Is it artwork? Is it, did I say reading? Is it reading? Something about reading. Reading more on what lights you up. And they're bringing me back to that park scene again, where you're just sitting there and you're being sort of inspired by people. In silent mode. And it helps to activate the High Priestess within. Okay, guys, that's all I'm getting for this card choice here. I do hope that that was helpful for you. If you would like a personal session, that link will be below. I want to thank you so much for being here, and I'll either see you in another choice, another card choice, or I will see you next time. Hello there, welcome to the codes portion of this session. So we brought in some amethyst here in honor of the last card choice because it came up. So pretty simply put, these are codes to help you to activate the High Priestess within. Take a deep breath. This first bit of codes is connecting the heart with the third eye. Koro umo ah. Miana da 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 da. Koro umo na 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 na. Har niatko ursh ah. Hiana atrakatuko mo jagada andraki. Hor ni jagada andrakataya katukumur na. Ranish ukmur niana atra tukutukumashiana ka andrakatuku. Hor ni ur ah. Take a deep breath. Focusing on High Priestess within. Or niana ka androkutukuma iana androkutukuma. Har niashokutukuma ata. Har nish uk. Har Hor Mishi inash ukma na nia 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 nia. Ta ra duk uk sh uk sh. Once again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.